Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Good to finally meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you too.
Yeah, I've seen your content for quite a while, so it's good stuff. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're here. So I guess for people who don't know who you are, do you want to give a quick intro?
Yeah, my name is Madison. I write the Learn Analytics Engineering newsletter where I send out weekly tips, tutorials, best practices, pretty much anything that's on my mind in the world of analytics engineering. And I've been in the data space, I guess, for 7-ish years now. I started off doing data engineering at Capital One and realized quickly that that wasn't quite for me. I really enjoyed more of like the business aspect of things, which is something that I wasn't getting in like a pure DevOps data engineering role. And that's, we were actually using DBT at the time in that data engineering role. And we were using it in all the wrong ways. We were just like using it to process really large CSV files, which
Oh boy.
is even weirder now when I look back at it. But that's kind of what spurred my interest in DBT and like learning more about the tool. And then I discovered the role of the analytics engineer and kind of just took a risk, applied for a role that I saw open. This is like when analytics engineering was like just becoming popular, and landed that role. Ended up building out modern data stack for that company called Wink, including DBT, Snowflake, Prefect. That's kind of when I learned all of the more modern data stack tools. I had never really had exposure with them at Capital One, so I pretty much just taught myself how to build and use those things, and kind of just started documenting it and writing about it and sharing what I was learning so other people could also learn because there just wasn't really much analytics engineering content at the time.
Yeah, I think the only stuff that was available at the time, I'm guessing this must have been probably late 2010s, early 2020s, right? That
Yeah.
time period. I think it was sort of the heyday of the modern data stack, and yeah, I think it was like locally optimistic had some stuff that was the Slack channel for analytics engineering. DBT obviously had their pretty massive community, and then it was mainly DBT's content. So
Yeah.
I think you were one of the people early on writing and, and capturing a lot of that.
Yep. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was really only DBT, I remember. And I started writing on Medium originally, and I don't remember seeing any analytics engineering content on there, definitely.
Why did you want to do the content route? It's a lot of work. Um,
Yeah.
it can be very frustrating at times. But
I've always loved writing and blogging. I actually, before I started writing about data, I had a fashion blog and then I had like a wellness recipe blog. So it's just something that I've always really enjoyed doing. And I also just really like teaching and sharing what I'm learning. I feel like that's just something that I've always done. So it was kind of just natural to write about what I was learning in the data world.
that's super cool. What was it like early on? I mean, because you're basically writing about a new field. Not a lot of stuff out there. Like walk me through the process of how you would come up with an article back then.
Yeah, so I think it was really based off what I was looking for. Like whenever I would Google something or look on Stack Overflow or like be looking on Medium for the problems that I was solving and couldn't really find something that was easy to follow or easy to understand, I would just write about it in my own words. And I think that's also what helped me learn these things so fast is like if you can teach something and write about it, you probably have a pretty good understanding of it. So
Right.
it's kind of like this feedback loop, I guess, of like it helped me learn quicker, but also I was like sharing it with other people.
Yeah. I think yeah, writing definitely helps you clarify your thoughts on stuff, and making it public is uh, that can be daunting for sure.
Yeah.
So, and lately it seems like you've been picking up a lot of topics, maybe around analytics, data engineering, and SQL. Is that and data modeling too?
Yeah, I think data modeling is something that was never even crossed my mind like in that first analytics engineering role and like I was the only analytics engineer. So again, like everything that I was learning was really from the internet and just like mistakes that I would run to on the job. So I don't think I really got much exposure there. And then in my most recent role, I think I really started to see the importance of data modeling and understanding like, okay, it's not just about learning these modern data stack tools. Like you really need to understand the foundational aspects of things and like the what's under the hood of all these fancy tools. And it's like you can use these tools, but if you're using them in the wrong way and not like implementing some of these data modeling concepts, like you're going to run into roadblocks.
Oh yeah. Well, it was interesting. Like, no shade on DBT, but I remember their course, the modeling technique that they showed was just one big table, and that was it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble if you don't know what you're doing with that. So, but it was interesting because I think a lot of the other techniques were, like Kimball and normalization were sort of written off as old and crufty, and
Mhm.
so I thought it was a bit interesting. It seems like people are finally turning around, but it took a bit of time.
Yeah, I think so. I think probably more and more people are running into the same thing I did, where it's like they think they know everything and they think they have it all figured out, and then they realize, oh, okay, actually not.
Oh yeah, I would see. Well, I'd see and also hear from other analytics engineers and data engineers about their DBT workflows, and man, one person had like thousands of models, DBT models that is scattered around, and the DAG on this thing was apparently just atrocious. Like,
Ugh.
yeah, it just made no sense whatsoever. But yeah, so
Yeah,
it can happen. It can
a
happen.
lot of bad scrolling dags out there in the
Uh,
GT world for sure.
oh yeah, are you targeting any content around helping people? Um, I guess make that better.
Yeah, so I guess not specifically with like DBT modeling, but I guess I'm in the process of like reading through Kimball's data warehouse toolkit book, and I've kind
It's a
of
good
just been
book.
sharing what I've learning along the way, trying to share it in a way that's a little bit more digestible. Because I mean, I think everyone should read that book, but it can be a little intimidating to go through like a whole book on data. I mean, I'm sure writing all of that too is probably a whole other ball game.
Oh yeah, I've read Kimball a few times. It's a big book.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that he set it up was pretty cool, though, right? So it goes through different industries and use cases, while also highlighting, progressively more advanced techniques and so forth. So I thought that was a really good way of writing a book, and it stood the test of time. I mean, it came out mid '90s, and it's still, I think, as useful today as it is, when it came out. What was really interesting is, I'm writing a book on data modeling myself right now, and it's been interesting digging into the past of all the different techniques and the characters of the scene at the time. Um, like, what was it? This one guy, so that's Bill Inman about the data mart. I was like, did you come up with the data mart? He's like, actually, no, this guy, Mark Demarest, came up with it. And I was like, who? So go back and look at that. And yeah, sure as hell, he came up with the term data mart, which is funny because Kimball thought that was very contradictory. He didn't like it at all, actually. He thought it was like a really bad idea. So just, and then I guess this guy, Mark, also came up with the term star schema in '93, I believe, '94, whatever, but also predating Kimball. So it's interesting just seeing like, as you dig into Kimball, and you'll start noticing like, you talk to old timers like myself and older even, and there's like all these things that sort of, I guess, arrived at books like Kimball's and others. But it was all sort of this. The '90s was definitely a very interesting time for data modeling, for sure, because analytics was becoming more, and BI is becoming more of a thing, I suppose. And so, yeah, it's a fascinating time period. But
Yeah,
good book,
lots of history that I feel like I haven't even thought about until recently.
right? Well, what was it about history that why are you attracted to studying the history now?
I guess just from like learning from past mistakes and like I'm always looking to improve and do better, and I think you can learn a lot from things that have been around for a while. There's a reason they're around for a while. And a lot of that I don't think is going to change even like with AI, and yeah, I think it's just important to have that foundational knowledge.
Yeah, what's been the reception to say your latest crop of data modeling articles?
I think people find them really interesting. I feel like that's the topic that people love hearing about. And I think it's because maybe there's just really not like that much information out there on it. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to find like good, actionable like articles or information. I don't, yeah. I think there's a big gap there.
I agree. Definitely. It's well, it feels like a lot of times too the data modeling world, especially in the kind of the more traditional sense. I think there was a lot of gatekeeping back in the day, and a lot of the articles are analytical modeling is an interesting one. Right, I feel like the content isn't really there's not too much geared towards I would say modern practitioners or sort of the next generation or newer generation of people. A lot of it's you kind of got Kimball, which is pretty mainstream, and then he's got his own. Kimball Group still has a website, which is an amazing resource. Like if you haven't read the articles there, just go read all of them. Great. But then you start looking at data modeling, and it's kind of interesting. Like a lot of the content is very kind of fringy almost, right? So like a lot of stuff out of Europe, like all these sort of variations on data vault or kind of esoteric topics. And I don't think it really lends itself well to people who are just trying to get into the field of or the topic of data modeling. I think it's very it's intimidating for sure.
Yeah.
And then people tell you to read Kimball, and you're like, cool, that's like 500 pages. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's definitely like this gap. I feel like where kind of the place where I'm at in my career, where I'm just like struggling with data modeling resources because, again, like I know a lot of like the beginner foundational things, but I'm not quite at the advanced level. And there's just like this gap in that I feel like it's just a hard place to be in your career where you're trying to get to the next level. And it's like, what's the best way of doing that?
sometimes the best way is to make it happen. So,
Yeah. Repetition, I guess, more and
yeah,
more. It's hard to become a better data modeler without actual solving actual problems.
it's true. The other book I would recommend is Chris State's Introduction to Database Systems. There's several volumes of it, but really good resource. He's one of the people that, along with Cod, came up with the relational model. But I'd say that book is really good. He's very hyper religious about the relational model, I think, to a fault. But that would be a good compliment for your journey as well. But I guess so how are you applying these learnings to your day to day then?
Yeah, so I try to kind of take it into like I guess the design process and thinking about them. I feel like lately it's been a lot of like reflecting on maybe like, oh, how could I have done like certain projects I've done in the past differently than I did
Mm,
them and like thinking about them with the practices I'm learning in the book. Um, yeah.
interesting. What is your day to day right now?
Oh God, it's been very it's been very all over the place. I'm working a lot on like content creation right now. I've been doing a lot of writing for my data pipeline summer challenge that's coming
Oh,
out
what's that?
of July. So basically, like it's a newsletter series walking through the different pieces of a data pipeline and like how to actually put one together. And the goal is to
Oh,
have a portfolio project by the end of it.
that's super cool.
Yeah, I've been challenging myself with learning some new tools that I've been wanting to learn. So that definitely adds a little bit more to it, trying to learn them and then also write about them and teach others. But it's been fun.
That's cool. Which tools?
DuckDB and SQL Mesh are the two that I've been wanting to try that I haven't used too much that I've been working on for the challenge.
That's cool. Why'd you pick those?
I wanted to do like an open source focus and I feel like those are the two that I've just been hearing the most about that I thought would be useful for me to know. And yeah,
That's super cool. DuckDB is awesome. So
yeah.
I haven't played too much with SQL Mesh, so but I think it's on the list. So
Yeah, it's been fun to play around. I'm like, I definitely forgot how hard it is to learn a new tool and kind of like program your way of thinking, especially when I'm so used to using DBT. But I think that's always good. It's always humbling to learn something new.
how do you learn new things?
probably just like putting them into action. Like I have to
Yeah.
actually go through and like set up everything and, like give myself a data set and try and work through the problems. And yeah, I definitely need to learn by doing, like reading about it and then actually putting it into practice.
Hmm. So this challenge that could be open to anybody then?
It's going to be mostly for paid newsletter subscribers,
Oh,
but there
nice.
are a few posts that will be free for everyone.
Sick. And you're on Substack, right?
Yep.
Cool. What do you think?
I mean, I love Substack. I wish there were some more features, but I mean, in general, it's just like so easy to the UI and the writing capabilities. I don't know, it feels easy to use.
Yeah. I think I was at a crossroads, right? Wanted to use Medium. I really wanted to like Medium, but I can't like Medium. I don't really like Medium.
Yeah, I
So,
liked Medium in the beginning when I first started writing, but now it's just, no, no, I don't think you have as much reach with your actual followers there.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't own your email list either, which is kind of the problem too. So, and I think the revenue share model felt kind of weird. Like it was just a pool of money and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So, I
it
don't know.
used to be good. Like when I first started writing on there was some articles where I think I made 700 on one of the articles, and like that was
Dang.
pretty good for Medium. And then like a year after I started writing on there, it kind of just went downhill when they did the rev share model.
When did you get into Substack?
Ooh, maybe 3 years ago.
Okay. It's pretty
Yeah.
early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know what made me use Substack. Like I wish I remembered,
I
but
don't know either. I think for me it was just the fact that I could have an email list and I think that import that around. I mean, I'm more leaning into Substack right now, even versus LinkedIn. I feel like LinkedIn, I've kind of done what I needed to do there, and now I just shit post the entire time and don't really have anything interesting to say.
well,
Um,
the algorithm has been awful. I'm like, I think I'm just talking into a void at this point.
I've been hearing that from a lot of people.
Yeah. I feel like it's the shit posting that does better now.
Right. Well, it's kind of weird. Like I'll post even comments, and I'll look at the views on those, the impressions versus my own posts, and sometimes the comments are, they get more views, which I thought was very interesting. Like I think I made a comment the other day about how fans of SQL Server are sort of like hardcore Nickelback and Creed fans, but like unironically, which is fun. It's good rage bait. Like somebody this morning posted about how I'm really hurt their feelings with that comment and how SQL Server is just awesome. And I was like, I think I'm doing I think I need to just go do something else. This is getting boring. So, just people take things way too literally there. Maybe it's a language issue. Maybe it's just a cultural thing. Maybe people are just like don't get the hint either. But it's
Yeah,
interesting.
people just want something to be mad about.
I think so. It's funny. It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's funny the comments you see on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah. But Substack. So I recently got into doing Substack Live. You should try that out if you haven't. It's dope. So actually, the people are saying the UI they hate it. The viewers. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, but it was interesting because I just randomly was like, oh, let's just try this out. And I thought like 2 people would show up, and I got like 100 people
Okay.
show up, and that was kind of fun. So you
Have
just
you been
rant.
posting on Substack notes too, or?
I am starting to. For a longest time, I couldn't figure out what it was. Actually, I was like, no, it's like, is this like a shorter article or is it a tweet? Like, what was the? So, how do you use notes? I'm actually really curious.
Yeah, I haven't been using it super consistently or anything. I've honestly just been copying my LinkedIn post, or like if I find a Substack post that I like, I'll repost it with some words, but yeah, I haven't really been using it too much. It's interesting. I was wondering like if data content would even, I guess, do well on notes, because a lot of the posts on there that I see kind of go more viral or have the most likes are always like writing focused things, and kind of just more like that goes along with Substack's branding rather than like what individual people are talking about, I guess.
Yeah, like, I'm looking at it right now. Right, so yeah, it feels more like a news feed. Right, so the content that gets a lot of impressions and likes right now, Fit Dad Formula. This must be an ad. It wants me to subscribe to it. But every person over 30 blames aging for their stiff, painful back. So that one has 409 likes, 52 restacks. Somebody just crossed 10,000 subscribers, and that got 255 likes and so forth, right? So it's interesting, the stuff that gets engagement.
Yeah, that is
It's
interesting.
weird. It is interesting.
When I was going through mine, I feel like maybe it's different now, but it was all stuff about like nature and Sylvia Plath quotes. And I'm like, maybe this is just, I don't know. It was almost like, I mean, I have like a personal Substack that's non data related where I look at more of like
Hmm.
book reviews, art stuff. And like, I guess maybe it somehow knows that. I don't know.
It's
Now looking
interesting.
at it, yeah,
Yeah.
looks like
I'll,
there's a lot more data stuff too. Or like
that's interesting.
career. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I think everyone's still trying to figure out Substack as well, which is a good time to be in on a platform versus LinkedIn, where they've obviously it's a huge multi-billion-dollar company and they're trying to squeeze every penny out of you. And
Yeah.
the interesting thing with the LinkedIn algorithm is, I think if you're more successful, like one of my friends, Steve Norrie, for example, right? He has millions of followers on LinkedIn, and he was telling me they actually gate a lot of the content that he posts because he's got more reach, but they don't want to have him get engagement or something. So
That's weird.
he's
Yeah.
been throttled. Yeah, so it's kind of
Because
shadow banned.
you would think that the posts that people like and having more followers would bring more people to the platform or keep them on longer. But
It's weird.
yeah.
And there's other people with similar audiences. That's yeah, they don't get any engagement. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know what's up with that, but
Then I feel like you see people that are like growing like crazy too. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening here.
anyone come to mind?
I don't know his name, but it's like some data analyst that I follow. That doesn't really
Could be anybody.
is not very specific at all. But I'm like, he's been growing like crazy, and I don't remember his name, but yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's always people that I feel like are posting more like AI generated content too, and I'm like, it
Right?
like LinkedIn doesn't promote originality, so
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it does feel like it's made by an LLM. I think it's,
yeah,
but it gets engagement. It's the weirdest thing, and I think people would pick up on it. Like I got one friend, I think she has an agency helping with her LinkedIn following, but she's been growing her numbers quite a bit. But the posts very much look like ChatGPT, and I know this because I've actually seen her post something and use ChatGPT to write
yeah.
the post. And it's like, oh man, but I guess it's where it is right now. It's I don't know, it's interesting, but that's for me personally, that's why I'm going into Substack more. Is 'cause I feel like the barrier to doing well in Substack is such that I think it rewards good content, not just algorithmically good content. And so
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's where I need to start. I mean, I've always been pretty focused on Substack, but I feel like lately I kind of went back to focusing on LinkedIn, but maybe that's where.
yeah, well, I think you're more of a writer too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I like writing long form content.
why? That's weird for somebody your age.
I don't know. I just, yeah, I feel like I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of words. I don't speak very much, but I like to write a lot. So it's like my form of self expression.
What's your process for writing an article?
Honestly, like an idea usually pops in my head on a walk or while I'm trying to solve some other problem. And I kind of just write it down and try to outline it and then kind of just go from there.
How obsessive are you with outlining?
Not super obsessive, I guess, but I do find that my articles come out way more organized when I outline.
It's weird how that happens. I know.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's easy to just like go on tangents.
Yeah, I think sometimes I'll do that. Like my newsletter rants typically are very much like that. But then you got to impose some structure to it because otherwise it just seems like very unhinged. And 1,000 words being unhinged can take you to a lot of weird places.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. Anymore, I do try and outline. Like I obsessively have like nice pens everywhere around the house and just notepads everywhere. And if you look around my desk, it looks like the desk of a crazy person. So just
I mean, I imagine trying to write a multi-hundred page book, you kind of have to be obsessive about outlines and organization and writing down ideas.
yeah. So for books, like I have dedicated like moleskin books that are labeled with a labeler because I'm a nerd. That has all the notes and ideas. And then what books? Those have lots of post-it notes throughout the pages for various notes that I take. But yeah, just stacks of books. I can't even tell you how many books I've read and articles for this book, but it's been probably 10,000 plus pages of stuff. So
Well,
it's a lot. It's a lot. I think
when
writing a
you,
book is different. So what's
yeah,
up?
sure. When you wrote your first book, did you have like a lot of writing experience before then, or
Only writing articles,
okay?
right? Um, so yeah, that was an interesting one. And I think co-authoring with Matt was a good move.
Hmm.
Um, I also realized I'm probably not going to do a co-author again. I'm kind of maniacally weird when it comes to writing books, but no, that was a process. But I would say it was definitely difficult starting out because um, it's a very daunting thing, right? You sort of have an estimated page count in mind, 450 pages, which if you break that down, that's like 500 pages or 500 words per page. So you start doing math and you're like, okay, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So, but then you have to keep a thread through the book, right? So it's not just thinking about like what you're writing for this chapter or section, but it's also how do you
Hmm.
make it all articulate throughout the entire book? And I think that's the hard part is making sure that there's structure to it
Oh yeah.
and sort of a theme. So it's like writing about 1,000 articles or something or some made up number, more than that actually. Um, well, not more than that, but it's like writing a bunch of articles, but trying to make them all make sense.
Hmm.
So it's fundamentally different, I would say, than writing articles. So, but I like book writing. I think you'd probably be really good at it, actually.
Yeah, definitely on my goal, a goal to someday do it. I actually took a memoir writing class a few months ago,
Um,
and that's something, yeah, completely different than writing a
what was
book.
that like? I didn't even know that would be a class.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It's like, yeah, a lot of writing exercises, kind of talking about kind of what you said, like how you have to have a theme and to a point of it, obviously, and like weaving that throughout your chapters and your stories. And that's something, it was a lot of fun. It definitely gave me even more respect for writers. So,
I think it depends what you write. So if you look on Amazon, a fun exercise is actually go look at some of the top selling books on Amazon. It's pretty hilarious. And so a lot of them are like, if you want to make a lot of money, write trashy romance novels.
oh yeah, for sure. I hate to admit that I love them because I read through them so fast. It's like they keep you so engaged, but as you're reading it, you're like, this writing is really awful. Even like the plot and the character names, and like they really couldn't have thought of like something better than this.
Oh, it's hilarious. Let me see what's going on right now. There's like, I was fascinated because after my last book, I was like, what books sell really well? Just out of curiosity. And there's this whole genre of billionaire romance novels.
Huh.
Like the Billionaire Bachelor, Billionaire Bad Boys Book One, has 1.4 thousand ratings.
Wow.
A Steamy Billionaire Romance, that one has 3,000 ratings, and you kind of get the idea.
Quite
It's
niche.
insane. What's that?
That's quite
Like
niche.
this is what, yeah, Alpha's Temptation, a billionaire werewolf romance book, 12,000 ratings.
I guess if you just throw billionaire in front of it.
Yeah, it's so that yeah, that'll be my next genre. I'm kidding. I would never put my name on it. But with ChatGPT, you could probably crank out some pretty crappy books. There's no way I could force myself to write such a thing.
Yeah.
Just be weird.
Yeah. That's I don't think I could do it either. And like to put something out in the world that you know is like super cheesy and like not well written and thought out. But I mean,
But
I guess
that,
that's a skill in itself.
I guess, I don't know. That person's probably laughing at us as they drive their Bentley.
Yeah.
So, just like,
Colleen Hoover books, I mean, she's like extremely successful, but like if you read her books, you're like
who's this?
Colleen Hoover. She wrote It Ends With Us, which was recently made into a movie.
Oh,
Yeah. But like the name of the character is like Lily Bloom who owns a flower
holy
shop.
crap.
I'm like,
She's
really?
got like, yeah, Hopeless has 77,000 ratings.
Yeah, she's crazy popular.
Wow. Yeah, November, 83,000 ratings. That's insane.
hmm
Man, okay, well, I know what my next pivot is. Just lose the shame and just start writing these books.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, who knows? Throwing data in some kind of book category might be a niche that people like.
well, data books are definitely an interesting niche in themselves, right? So
Yeah.
it's an interesting one. So you were a analytics engineer. You write a lot. You do a lot of content. Like what's in store for you?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like I'm there's a lot of different paths I could lead down right now. Part of me feels like I'm still so early on in my career. Like I still want to go into like another full-time analytics engineering role. I just think there's more for me to learn. But then another part of me has really enjoyed working with data companies on like their marketing and their content
Hmm.
strategies, kind of like a DevRel thing. So I've been thinking kind of going along that route. And then even like leaning more into just like people that want to be analytics engineers and like a learning community. Those are kind of the three things that have been on my mind lately. I'm like, I don't know necessarily which path I want to go down. I feel like right now I'm just kind of saying yes to everything, and it's been a little bit stressful because my attention is just kind of divided into like job interviews, writing, working with companies on like sponsorships and webinars and stuff, and yeah, all over the place.
That's funny. Yeah, I think it's easy to say yes to a lot of things until you yeah. I think I made last year the year of no. This year is the year of maybe. So
It's definitely good to say no. I feel like with a lot of things, I used to be that way, and now I'm just kind of like, I think I'm in that season where I just need to say yes to everything. Feel like see what works, see what I enjoy. I don't know. I'm a big believer that like the right thing will come to me, and I'll know when it feels right.
well, the important thing is you built the audience, right? So you've built like I think the things that matter, and the hardest part too is the audience building.
hmm
I think that this takes a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight, so But
Yeah.
once you have that, you have a lot of options. You could do DevRel, you could build a community. You could probably do both, actually. I
hmm
think, yeah, from my perspective, I think like community is something you're building anyway. You can have a job doing whatever you want. You could be a baker or a romance novelist or something too, and still have a community. But I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I've always like loved making content, so I it's been easy for me to stay consistent with that the last 3 years because I just enjoyed it, and I kind of knew that if I focused on that and was consistent with it, like just more roads would open up down the line, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So
Yeah, well, I think it's how you got on my radar was your content. It
yeah,
wasn't anything else.
yeah,
So, and I'm pretty picky about who I follow too. So it wasn't like it was good stuff. And then, but yeah, I don't know. DevRel is an interesting one. Like I've been quasi doing some of that too. But been trying to balance being really careful with my brand too, because I don't want to just kind of pimp it out to everybody. It doesn't. That's kind of weird.
yeah. You
So,
definitely have to make sure that you really believe in the product for that one.
how do you make that assessment?
I mean, I definitely won't work with companies that go against like a lot of the things that I believe about data, which I feel like that's an interesting thing that I'm
What do
seeing.
you mean by that?
But I mean, a lot of these like AI companies, I think a lot of them kind of have like the mindset of, oh, we can completely replace the data engineer. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe in that. So I'm not going to promote something that, is like so forward thinking, I guess, in that way. Or like a tool that believes, I don't know, transformation should be in the BI layer, something like that, I guess. But um, yeah, so I'm careful about like the companies that I partner with, but like ones that I think are really like following best practices and like things that I see would be really helpful in my work, those are the ones that I tend to get behind.
That's cool. How do you politely say no to companies?
I guess just charge them a high rate and then they'll say no themselves.
Right. Yeah, that's a weird one where I think, oops. I think it's interesting too because the more you say no to companies, I think the more they want to work with you, which is kind of
Mm.
interesting. It's almost like dating in that way.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, what you really mean is yes, right? I'm like, no, 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 definitely not.
Yeah.
Um, so it's yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been testing out sponsorships on my newsletter and stuff. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to refine a few things. I think for the right companies, it makes sense. But some companies they want you to do, you know, they kind of have a last minute thing. They have new features, new events they want to promote. And I think that needs to be treated separate.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a last minute request. I
It's
don't
a,
do paid posts on LinkedIn,
mhm.
so I think everyone wants me to do that, but I'm like, no.
Yeah,
So
I've been doing some of those lately and like with the algorithm and everything, I just feel like I don't know if it really makes sense. I think I'm starting to realize that like longer partnerships make way more sense, like
yeah,
off posts or like even just one off sponsorship. It's like, well, I'm only gonna, maybe give you some brand awareness. Like I don't think with like data tools, it's such a long like purchasing decision process that it's like one exposure and one newsletter. It's like how much is that really going to do?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing more like long term things if I
Hmm.
end up doing this. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense. Then you get a lot of these agencies keep popping up and like, we want to have you do influencer marketing. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like that's just feels kind of gross. So,
Yeah, yeah. I've realized like I've been trying to film like for Instagram and stuff too, and I'm like, this is a lot. I don't know if like the full-time influencer life is for me.
well, I think you got to get in on one format and do well at that.
Yeah.
So I think also if you're a writer, it's hard because you're coming at it from a different angle.
Hmm.
Uh, it's almost a different mindset than if you're doing video. Like I'm, definitely doing a lot more video now, and you'll start seeing more of that. But it's a weird mental adjustment, especially if you're writing a lot and then doing video. Just the mental shift is, I don't know. For me, it's jarring. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't just sit here all day and like be on my phone, like, hey, what's up? It just
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
feels odd because I have like a tripod in my background there for the desk and stuff. I use that for my link Substack Live. Um, but then, like, Zach Wilson, for example, right? Like a lot of his content's just on his phone, and I mean, very low production quality. Like, I
Mhm.
think one time we did a podcast with him, he's literally just like on his phone, laying in bed, like, like talking on the phone the whole time. But that's Zach, right? So he's
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could be like that. I'm way too type A, I feel like.
yeah, but it is an interesting game, though, right? I was talking to a few other content creators and influencers recently, and yeah, it definitely feels like I think to make money on the brand deals alone is kind of a weird game. Some people feel like I think I get the impression it feels a bit empty as well. So shouldn't
Yeah,
really,
no, it definitely does because you're just so focused on like capturing people's attention. It's like you're not necessarily focused on providing value, it feels like. At least like when I'm mindlessly scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, I'm like, how much? I mean, like with the data content, I do think a lot of it is valuable, but also some of it's like, okay, I know this is clickbait. Like with
right?
the first hook, like I know you're just trying to like get me to watch the end of the video.
Yeah, and all the expectations are on you to get engagement up, and it's just like you said, there's things outside of your control. The algorithm right now,
Yeah.
it's sort of inscrutable. So, and you get penalized as well if you have outbound links in your main posts on LinkedIn. So,
Yeah.
but that's what they want. So you're like,
Yeah.
cool. So you get no engagement. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like you also have the brand needs to trust you enough to like know what's going to work. Like the more subtler references are better than like we have this new feature, try this now, like a lot of
Yeah.
people, at least like when I see an ad like that, I'm just going to scroll past like
Oh, absolutely. And it's a tough time to be a vendor. I mean, there's a lot of noise. If you have a company page, like LinkedIn's going to make you pay money. So to promote anything, otherwise you get like absolutely no traction whatsoever.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's hard.
It is hard.
I'd hate to be a vendor right now. But that's why they're all going for the influencers right now, so they can
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool. Anything else on your mind?
Oh, I guess, do you have, I know you have a data community, the
Yeah.
practical data modeling, right? Is that what it's called?
Practical data. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, do you do that on Substack or is that a
I have it on
Discord?
Substack, and then I actually have a Discord group as well.
Okay.
Come check it out. It's
Yeah. Going.
yeah. So the Discord, what we were like, we just had 1,700 members, which maybe not the biggest community, but I think it's definitely the most fun community I've been a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's important.
yeah, because I looked at some of the other data communities out there, and I was like, I don't want it. I want this to be different. I want it to be kind of a more of a personification of the things I like. So a combination of good discussions with experts as well as like very unhinged discussions. I think stuff that you probably wouldn't be able to talk about in other communities as well, right? So there's a channel devoted to politics, and like if you're going to want to talk about it, so go talk about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, right? There's one on parenting. I'm just looking at some of this stuff now. There's food. Somebody kept posting food pics, so I'm like, just go post it there. Yeah, location specific stuff, but it's kind of fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Communities,
No,
it's one of
those,
those things where like developing a community is very fun, and I think it's a very interesting exercise, especially as it starts out.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. I've been trying to think like how would I make an analytics engineering community different than all the others out there?
well, what are the main ones right now?
I mean, I feel like the ones that I check on a lot are like DBT and locally optimistic.
Yeah, and
But
DBT
even
is still going strong. I think locally optimistic feels like it sort of dropped off a bit.
yeah, they're
So,
not really like fun, like you were mentioning. It's like to go into a like I don't know, a Slack channel or community group, like yeah, you want it to be not only valuable but fun as well. It's like
right.
if it's not, then like let me just go on LinkedIn.
Ouch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this community is interesting. Like yeah, and it was interesting. We even had some people, a couple months ago asking questions about Fivetran's pricing, and so George Fraser just shows up,
Mhm.
CEO of Fivetran, and starts answering questions. I'm like, that's cool. Um, then we do a lot of fun community events, right? So I do these lunch and learns. Like we're doing one tomorrow with Elias from DBT. He's gonna be talking about DBT Fusion.
That's
Yeah, we have a bunch of cool things like Malloy. They did a thing. Hannes, the creator of DuckDB, he showed up to unveil Duck Lake to everybody, so that was pretty dope. So,
yeah, that's cool.
so I feel like you got to have other events too, and we're talking about a book club right now. I don't know what we're going to be doing there, but just I think like having getting people together, and we also have data therapy, so you should show up to that sometime.
Hmm.
Data therapy is a basically it's a closed, unrecorded video discussion.
Hmm.
People can talk about whatever's on their mind, but that's been really helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
that is
think those
cool.
are the aspects of communities I feel like when I looked at what other groups like the ones you mentioned, they weren't really doing stuff like that, right? Where it didn't feel like there was like the communal aspect to it. It was very much post Slack. Maybe we'll have a couple meetings here and there, but yeah, make it fun. Like
Yeah.
I think people want an outlet too away from work, right? Like they want to talk about
Sure.
things. We always joke that every thread or channel basically becomes unhinged at some point, and so I'm just like just embrace it.
Yeah.
So, like, so
That's cool. Have you ever thought about doing in-person events?
I have, but I'm on the road so much right now that it's kind of like every event I do is inherently in person. Like I was just in Iceland a couple weeks ago there, and so I feel like yeah, if I'm back home, it's weird. Like I don't really go anywhere. I just don't want to see anybody. So I'm actually doing a happy hour next week, one of those low key happy hours, and it's just like half mile down the street,
Oh,
so I can
that's
stumble home when I'm done.
fun.
So
You're in Utah, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
How big is the data community there?
big.
Really? Okay. Because
Mhm.
I've been like thinking about in-person events in like Phoenix or something, but I've only been to one DBT event and I think there was only like 10 people there. So I'm like,
Oh, bummer.
how big?
There's a lot of good data people in Phoenix. I got quite a few friends I can introduce you to there. So
Yeah.
it's got a good community there. Yeah. What do you think? I just feel like it's also like the classic thing in most cities is because there's not a way to tie people together,
Hmm.
or people are just very busy doing other stuff. Like the community, it's there, but it's not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but like Sanjeev Mohan, he lives in Phoenix. Sanjeev's like used to be the VP of I think data and analytics at Gartner.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like one of the smartest guys in the industry, and he's there, right? But nobody knows.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So
know.
yeah, but he'd be good for you to know. But yeah, yeah, I think local communities is an interesting one.
Yeah.
So I started like two meetups in Salt Lake, no, three actually, both of which are still going, right? So Python and the data engineering. So so
Yeah, I think with like the shift to AI in person is going to become a lot
absolutely.
more powerful. People are going to want that.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're already seeing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but it'll be interesting. But then it's interesting because the AI discussions. If you go to like San Francisco, it's like you can there's dozens of AI meetups every night. So
Hmm.
it's like which one do you even go to?
Yeah.
So
So
it's,
many people there that are in.
yeah, it's insane. So yeah, but if you do an event though, happy to fly over to check it out. It's only what, an hour ish away from Salt
Yeah.
Lake, so it's not that far. So
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
cool. It's good chatting with you.
Chatting
I
with you.
guess yeah, for people who want to learn more about you and where they can find you, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can look at Learn Analytics Engineering on Substack or find me on LinkedIn at Madison Schott.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.